gigantic thing for like maybe $3 is super cheap.
Yeah, it's all wholesale.
Oh, that sounds really good. And
All
it's
right.
great
Who
weather.
do we got? Nathaniel
Yes, perfect.
Sanders.
Yeah,
Hello.
I
And
was
somebody
just
named
tidying up.
Is anybody from over there? They actually do like a big parade for the whole strawberry, like the strawberry festival.
There is a festival.
There's a
I've never been able
festival.
to go. The hotels usually book because they don't have enough hotels.
So one of my good friends was Miss Plant City one years ago.
Oh yeah.
How awesome.
Yeah.
The next year she was I can't think of something good. It was gonna have something to do with cattle though.
Hello, healthy folks. Hi, Nathaniel. You're one of us, I'm sure.
Hello,
well, we
Nathaniel.
were showing what we're putting in our coffee today, so
Yes.
we're showing that we're not totally perfect.
You're no longer a ghost. You're no longer a ghost, Doug. That's good.
Mm-hmm. Heather, that was such a good picture of you. I had to share, and great words. What a great post. I rarely will forward somebody else's post, but it was good.
Very good.
Thank you.
Sorry if I somehow I crafted the words to make it sound like somehow I get credit for you. I hope you don't mind, but you know.
No, not at all. That's why I said what I said, because you guys do deserve some credit anyway. I mean, you guys are such great leaders and always there to help us when we need it. So, you know, I feel like you do get some of that credit.
Very nice of you. Nicole Medina is coming on, and she actually lives near Plant City, right?
Oh, hold on. I couldn't hear you. My GPS was talking.
How close are you to Plant City? We're thinking about making a strawberry run this weekend.
Oh, I'm like, I don't know, 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
Oh, cool.
Wow, 15 minutes. Okay, that's awesome.
Nicole could be Miss Plant City.
Yes.
She could, the strawberry queen.
I would love that.
So welcome to Jill. Alicia, is this a new person on your team?
No.
Karen's team.
Karen's team? Oh, welcome, Jill.
Welcome,
awesome.
Jill.
Karen, you want to share some background on Jill?
So I was trying to think, we met at Kids Learning Academy, right? With the kids, or was it early?
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I'm eating lunch.
Jill.
We all eat lunch. It's called Lunch and Learn.
Right.
So it's okay.
You're showing us
like 8 years ago, I think.
No, it's got to be longer than that. Was it with?
Maybe.
It was with Rachel. So let me do some quick math. It has to be at least 9 because Kaylee's 13.
Oh yeah, that's true. So about 9 years then. Yeah.
And Jill is, see, I tell you guys all the time, you don't believe me. I am such a piece of work that I surround myself with people who are way nicer than I am to help balance it. So.
I wouldn't be friends with you this long if you weren't nice.
Oh, yeah, Karen, you're definitely nice. Don't worry.
Yeah, come on.
And a lot of fun.
For some of us, this is brunch and learn.
All right, brunch and learn. That's right. New
I
Mexico in the house.
I had a
So Jill,
Emma, hi.
For years, Jill was super excited about the Tower Garden and was not in a place where she could get it. She finally has a Tower Garden and is beside herself. If anybody deserved a Tower Garden, it's her, because she is such a fantastic cook and everything. And then she finally got her family started on Juice Plus a couple of months ago too. And she did a post about the Tower Garden, and she's got at least one person super interested. So we've talked about her joining the team. Mentally in my mind have had her joining my team for years now. She just doesn't know that. And so yay. So today was finally the day, which was awesome.
Yay. Welcome to the team, Jill. Cheers.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you.
A holler and a swaller for Jill K.
Woohoo. Thanks. Awesome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
I think you guys have been putting vodka inside your shake that you got.
Maybe so. Maybe
You'll
so.
never know, Darby. You'll never know. Okay, and then we have Sage. Sage had a Juice Plus baby recently. Sage, if you want to turn your camera on, you can. If you don't, it's okay. But welcome. We're glad you're here.
Thank you.
Yay. So we would love to at least first start off with, what would you like to talk about? Sometimes, people have different things they would like to talk about. So let's see. Oh, Kelly says she's currently pumping. Yes. Sorry, Doug.
Oh, it's okay. I can handle it. I've seen the pump.
Oh.
But I don't want to see your
you
pump.
Didn't. Okay.
No, I've never seen the pump. You're not a pumper.
Let's not talk. Seriously, I had a pump. Okay.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the pump actually.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Woman power. Hey, Nathaniel and I are here. We're representing the men. Nathaniel, we might need the camera on soon because they're eating me up over here.
What I want to say really quick is that last night's event with Alicia and Bella, hosted by Sharon, was so phenomenal. Like I'm at a loss for words for how powerful and impactful that event was. So I just want to say kudos to all three of you because you rocked it. Like I'm just still overjoyed by that event from last night.
Was it recorded?
Was it streamed to Plant-Based
Yes.
Power or where?
Yes. So it was recorded and it was streamed. So it was streamed to Plant-Based Power, which is on Facebook. It's a
Page.
general group that we use for Tower Garden or Juice Plus events. So
It's
that you
actually
guys
a
can then
page,
share it.
so
Yeah.
then it's not
I
private.
mean, not a group. It's a
So you
page.
could tag people right on it.
Yeah. And then also it's on YouTube. But I didn't put it on Team Transformers. I put it on Sharon for our one because Team Transformers is more like business stuff. So under YouTube, Sharon for our one is that. But I also put it everywhere except for Voxer, which I should have. But I was on the computer. So it's everywhere I would be on the computer, on Facebook, mostly. Okay. So yeah, it was really great. Alicia shared a little bit of her story, but mostly about tips on self-love, and she's an awesome PowerPoint presentation with lots of good ideas and tips, and reference to Eat, Pray, Love, which I have never seen, so I need to. And
Must
then,
see.
yeah, I need to see that. I'm at that time in my life where I'm appreciating like some of those kinds of things, like more.
It's on Netflix, by the way. So
Oh,
you
is
can
it?
you can get it for free, yeah, if you have Netflix.
Eat, Pray, Love. I think
Yeah.
it's a movie, right? Not a documentary or something,
Right.
right?
It's a book and a movie. Julia Roberts is in it.
Yeah.
Oh,
I read the book before the movie ever came out. It's really good.
Yeah, you read the book?
Yes,
long
I
time
agree.
ago.
That was a really good movie.
So if you guys want to, you could share what, Nathaniel says, excuse me, he walked into another room.
Yeah.
He couldn't be there for you.
right. Yeah, they started turning on me, Nathaniel. They went all women power about breast pumping. So
I
was rough.
I still don't see him supporting you with his camera.
you know.
No pressure. Okay. So what did anybody get out of Alicia's talk last night? You can share. I thought it was really great. There's some apps that I did not download that she
Apps?
recommended. Yeah.
Oh, like, see, I didn't see it yet, actually. So I'm behind the scene. I have tagged people on it though because I heard about it. People are raving.
Mm-hmm.
You have my total support. Thank you, Nathaniel.
I love Nathaniel. Okay. So, and then Bella shared her incredible story. Oh my gosh, And so I think she shared even more. And I was watching Bella and I'm like, how does she just do this? How does she do it? Where we're captivated. And did you guys pick up on how she does it? Like, Michelle, tell me, what, in your opinion, what is it that Bella does that just captivates the audience?
I mean, and her story, I don't know, everything that's emanating. And I mean, every time she tells the story, it gets better and better.
Yeah.
And there were 40 plus people on the Zoom and it went for an hour. And I think we only lost 2 people within that hour. Like people were so engaged in the talk. I mean, I was just, I don't know. There's no words for it. I think she just has like God's hand all over her or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vela is one of the speakers. I don't know if you know this, Vela. I don't know if I've told you, but I would like to speak more like you do because I don't. I get excited and I talk fast and I get this high voice and all this stuff, and like I just did it, and that was terrible. But what Vela does, it's almost like I think maybe it's a church background that helps for her because it has a lot of like pastoral authority, slow. A pause, like if you
she's
say,
not afraid to pause.
if you say that was amazing, that pulls you in a lot more than that was amazing. See, I can teach it. I used to teach public speaking, but I'm not a very good public speaker, not compared to her.
No,
very good.
Yes, you are.
She almost makes you
and
feel
she gives,
present. She
and
makes
she
you
gives
feel
God the
present in
glory.
the story. Like you feel like when she's telling you the story, like you're there, feeling all of the journey that she's going through, which is so incredible,
Yeah.
that talent. Very good.
And like Janie's saying, it's emotional. She gives you urgency, and she's really speaking from the heart. She really wants people to act on what she's saying. She's not just playing around, right? Bella, I see you.
Well, wait, hold on. Let me clarify.
Which
though.
it's high Vel on here. You know,
Yeah.
we have to, find the Vel in her name. I have her
But
as Evel, High Vel, Vella.
Well, let's not use her content as an excuse, though.
Oh, no.
Because she's been at the house at a covered dish thing, and I'll say, like, Vella, what's in this? And she'll explain a recipe, and it has the same delivery.
Oh,
and it engages
I've never done
you.
that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vella.
So whatever she talks about, it's like that. So that's a good thing to
When
notice.
Vella
is how
talks,
people
people
speak.
listen.
Yeah.
So
I get the comments. It's out of urgency, and I know exactly what my purpose is. I was put on a platform at American Heart. I did speak in front of 5,000 people, and I didn't know where to start. So I went to Toastmasters, thanks to Michelle. She invited me to Toastmasters, and I'm like, okay, this is a forum where I can learn, because I hate public speaking. I can pray, I can teach a sermon, I can do a class in reference to religious, but to captivate someone's thought and to bring them into what I was going through, I want people to feel the rawness, because it's so urgent that we understand before it's too late. So it comes from a place of love and understand and walk in purpose. And I'm mandated by God to share the message. That's it.
Dang. Cheers to Bella.
There we go. Holler and a swaller.
Here we go. Cheers. Okay. So if the moral of the story, if you did not listen last night, then you're not really compelled to share. But now that you've heard a little bit, maybe you'll be compelled to share. And that's really what we do. We do things and then we share with others. It doesn't have to be a big deal.
If you hear her talk about that and you're like, man, I wish I had that kind of purpose and clarity in my vision, then that's part of personal development, getting serious about understanding. I know we have like What's Your Why worksheets and stuff, but there's whole books and stuff. Simon Sinek, Finding Your Why, and What's Your Why, Discovering Your Why. Like the why thing, I know we just throw it out there, but doing some of those Simon Sinek books is really helpful to really figure out what are you really about. And then once you're really about it, like if you're really about like sharing Juice Plus, then you got to be studying and reading and staying excited. That's how you can keep sharing with people without it becoming kind of, I don't know, boring? I'm not boring, but hi, Emma.
Oh, hello.
You have something, to share?
No. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Hi. Okay. So in the comments, can you put the recording on Voxer? Yes, somebody can. I'm sure somebody can. If they don't, then I will. Okay, so what we'd like to talk about today is Ditch the Pitch. Stacy, I think now you've gone to a webinar, maybe with the author. Maybe you could just give us a little intro, and then I have some, and maybe even some questions for the audience. And then I have some of the videos that we can watch today, unless you guys want to talk about something else. If you have something urgent you want to talk about, this is your lunch.
Anything exciting or any questions or any objections you face? We got more animals on screen now. Here's Bobby the cat along with Hurley the dog. Cats and dogs living together in perfect harmony here at the Farrars. Hi, you want to give a licky?
Oh my gosh, there could be a fight right by my laptop.
Okay,
not really.
Nice. This is a
and
big
there's
moment.
Coffee. I mean, we're really. I'm
glad you guys could be a part of this. Hey, Denzel, what's up?
Yay, Denzel! Don't wreck the car, please.
Yo, what's up?
You driving in the snow?
No, he doesn't have snow. He's going to the dog park and stuff.
Oh, that's right. Where do you
No,
live?
no, it's not snowing. It's just sunny. It's fine. Matter of fact, it's finally sunny.
Where do you live?
I live in Maryland,
cool.
Southern Maryland, right near Virginia, right near DC, Virginia, Maryland.
Okay.
I love that.
Well, anybody have a special question or an objection or anything they're excited about, they want to talk about before we move into some other stuff?
I mean, I'm doing my Doug, I'm setting up my family and friends. What do you call it? just, hey, look what I'm doing. Just introducing everybody to this new endeavor of Juice Plus for myself. That's this Friday. I mean, I expect that to produce a lot of results and carrying along the momentum that the DMO challenge kind of got me introduced to. Like reaching out with folks and just the whole spiel of just how we go about our business.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's pretty exciting.
That's excellent. So if you're newer and you're on here, or if you have team members, which that should include almost everybody, Denzel is kind of restarting, right? You've been around for a little while.
Yeah, I'm not even that. I've started at the beginning of the year.
Okay, end of the year.
Not long at all. Yeah.
He's doing a friends and family call, which is a great, and you could call it something else. You can call it a life update. You can call it a launch call. But it's a great call because it's not necessarily like a sales call. You don't get your friends and all your family on there and then like pitch them Juice Plus really hard. We take more of the approach of like, hey, Denzel's got a new thing going. He just wants to share what it is, and we can all support him in that. And so that's going to take care of two things right away. Number one, your family's going to know what the product is, and they might actually want to get it. And number two, it's going to help when you're posting about things on social media. Anything that you might perceive as weird or like uncomfortable, like, oh, what is he doing? What is that? They'll know what it is. They'll know the reason and all the great stuff. So
and it's third-party validation. It's not just Denzel, because sometimes people know Denzel in a certain other way. This is a way to broaden that. So
we got a little.
And I was also going to say it'll do a lot for making a lot of sense for people in your circle.
Yeah,
because people understand you from a perspective that you don't even understand yourself. And it's like, oh, that's what he's doing. That makes so much sense now. And like we were talking last lunch and learned about like you being an inspiration to people's lives and not even knowing it. And I just had that gear turning in my head like for the past 48 hours, and it makes a lot of sense how all of this stuff we're talking about connects with just really life in general.
I think you're quite a lovable guy, and people are going to get behind you, and they can always send people to you. That's the other part. So it's a really good call. If anybody wasn't on here last time and wants to know where to find that information, it's on gotransformers.net. Just kind of leads you through it. Okay, so today we're going to go into some of the Ditch the Pitch videos. And I think we were going to call on Stacy. I'm sorry, Stacy. So go ahead, Stacy, and then I'll show some of the videos. We're both learning, and so we're just helping you to learn while we're learning.
So how about I share how not to do it?
Okay, good.
I sort of ditched the pitch too far the other direction. So a couple of you get like this is just a printout, but you've seen this, Sharon, but it has each of the habits of the ditch the pitch. And the first one is think for output. Second is size up the scene. And both of those have to do with really getting in a good picture of whoever you're talking to. What is it that they're interested in? Doug mentioned your why. Your customers have a why, and your prospects have a why. Like, why would this be of interest to them? And that's the part of their brain that makes the purchasing or the action step decision. But if I'm not tapping into that why and I'm sharing my why, their why may not connect with mine. And so they don't see that this is a fit for them because I'm not connecting with theirs. So last night I had some people at my house. I've spoken with 3 of them multiple times. One of the couples, this was the second presentation they've come to. And I've had conversations, Juice Plus conversations, or really more like health conversations with them. And I cooked soup and they came over a little bit early and we had dinner and we were just talking just about life and things like that. Then comes time to do the presentation and we were just sitting at the table. It was very casual, like we didn't move into the living room. And a couple of things about that, like typically I'm used to presenting by having like a screen up on my computer on the TV or a larger screen, and I sort of go into presenting mode and have an introduction and just lead into what I'm going to be talking about. Because we were at the table, it was just much more casual. And I really missed an opportunity as we were eating dinner. I should have been asking them questions about health related things, right? Like to get a good picture of why were they there? What was the information that they were looking for? I totally forgot that. So we're just talking about life, but I could have directed questions to gather input from them before I went into the output of the presentation. So I didn't really know what their interest was. I had no idea what their background health information was. Had I gathered that information in conversation first, I could have woven that into the presentation and made it specific to the needs that they were looking for. So like case in point, I did speak about diabetes in one of the contexts of the message I was talking about was like 5 lies that we believe that are really detrimental to our health. And one of them is it's the doctor's responsibility to keep me well. So in that, I gave the example of diabetes and just, go to the doctor, get medication for it, but not taking real responsibility of your lifestyle, what you're eating and that sort of thing. Well, I didn't know, but one of the girls there, her husband has diabetes. And it would have been, I did mention it, right? I ended up covering it through that. But had I known that, I could have tailored that a bit more personal to her and to her family. And so it wasn't until the end of the presentation, and this is kind of how it started off, like I felt like I ditched the pitch too far in that I didn't gather the information, but I went right into presenting. There was a little guy, he's about 19 months old, and right as I started to talk, he wanted to sit on my lap. And if you guys know me, I love babies. I couldn't resist. So of course I'm now distracted by this cute little blonde little guy. And so I just didn't go into the presentation strong. So what I wish I would have done is taken some more time to ask questions at the beginning. At the end of the presentation, then I did. I caught myself and I was like, I totally blew what I have just been learning. I've been going through the course, I'm listening to the book, I'm reading the book, and I still missed it. So it's just being more aware of that and taking that into account when you're having those conversations. And so, when I say I ditched the pitch too hard at the beginning, I should have had even an introduction. Like Sharon, I didn't even really introduce myself or tell my story of why I was interested in this and how this passion came about. I wove that into the presentation as I went along, but the start was not as strong as it could have been. So at the end, I did ask questions and I found out more interest. And one of the girls was super excited about the Tower Garden, and because it was at my house, I could take them to go see it. So it ends up fine, right? But even if you don't get it right the first time and you catch yourself I'm not asking questions, I don't really know as much as I should, just kind of slow down, maybe stop the presentation, the presenting mode, if you will, and then get into more of that conversation. Now, when we're one-on-one with people, it should not be a presentation at all. We should not be speaking more than a paragraph at a time. When you're presenting to a group, that's going to look different, right? They came to hear a presentation, but I should have taken the time to ask some questions. But in a true one-on-one with someone, if you're in presentation mode, you're probably missing the boat, because it should be way more about finding out what their need is, what their interest is, what their heart is. How can you connect this personally to them? And you're going to get much, much greater results. So that's just sort of a life lesson of what not to do.
Well, it sounds like it turned out fine. But yeah, I love starting a presentation, and I don't always remember, by saying, what are some of your health goals? If you guys have been to my house, you've heard me say that, who's got some health goals? Maybe it's the beginning of the year. Who named some health goals at the beginning of the year? Just to get an idea, of who we're talking to. And then remember Michael Oliver, and so I forgot he was going to say something. But I remember Michael Oliver many years ago. He said, and this is not about presentation, but he said, pretend like you're, or not pretend, but be on the same side of the table as the person you're talking to, And then only with permission do you move to the other side of the table, which means you start presenting. There's really not a great point in which you do that. Like even if you're trying to present over the telephone, you want to kind of make an appointment. Hey, I just wanted to call you to see if I could line up something to where I could present some information. And then you could even send a video beforehand so there's a good jumping off point. But when you're just in a conversation, like say you went to lunch with somebody, you want to just relax and be in the conversation, and only until you have their permission to go into like a little presentation mode would you be on the other side of the table, so to speak. I hope that makes sense. So you want to just be careful of that, because that's when you're, quote, verbally vomiting. That's when you are putting yourself on the line. Instead of being the messenger, you are the message. So that's why we use the tools. What were you going to share?
Oh, I don't know how many people are real, like, in the Ditch the Pitch program.
The NMDs?
Well,
for now.
I'm not. And what about Kathy? She just got the, yeah.
Oh, Kathy's been listening to us and she's got the book.
Okay. I find it difficult when you and Stacy are teaching from the book to grasp everything, because I feel like maybe, I don't know, just maybe you guys could take it a little slower and explain it. Okay. Maybe I'm just slow, but sometimes it's hard to capture.
Jamie's got the book. Michelle's got the audio.
All right, I'll get the book.
Well, let's have them comment on that. Go ahead, guys. I see them.
Yeah, I listened to the audio a few weeks ago. And so whatever they share, I get it, but I could understand how it may be confusing if you haven't listened or read the book yet. But I was going to say something about the last thing you just mentioned and how it helps us when you're asking questions.
About presenting or about, health goals? Asking about health goals? No?
I just drew a blank, sorry.
That's okay.
So, well, I talked to you enough. So Stacy, so this book, basically the whole premise, and I should know this because we watched some videos, but make sure I'm correct here. So instead of pitching people, we're really asking lots of questions and figuring out the pain point. It's sales, right? But avoiding the pitch.
More natural sales.
Okay.
Right. I would say more conversation.
Oh, yeah.
But so I find, I've got all this information in my head about Juice Plus. Like, I'm excited about it. I know about it. I have stories that I can share. I want to get the point across them. I want to tell them all of these things. And even though I've learned over time to calm that down, I'm still talking too much in most of those conversations. It should be more them talking and less of me talking. I'm gathering information. So input before output, that very first one is, being alert to, like, even their countenance. How do they speak? Are they slow when they're talking and they're more deliberate with their words and they deliver it slower? If I'm talking fast, they're going to be like, whoa, I can't even take that information in. If they speak fast and they're talking and I'm much slower and I slow the pace down, they're going to be like, speed this up a bit, like, get on with it. Tell me whatever you're going to say, right? So you're matching the person that you're talking to. What's happening in their life? What's going on with them? Case in point, Alyssa is on here with us. This is Alyssa's first Lunch and Learn. So we'll say hi to Alyssa. Woo, woo. But I went over to Alyssa's house the other day to help her do some training with Juice Plus, right? So when I get there, I'm observing like what's happening in her family's life, what's happening in her house. And I just knew if I go into training, she can't absorb the information right now, but what does she need? What can we get accomplished together? We ended up, because they're moving to Tampa. So we ended up getting some rooms cleaned out. We cleaned out the garage. Like, we were able to kind of talk some things as we were working or whatever. But if I didn't meet the need that she had, I would become irrelevant training and talking right then, right? So sometimes it's just holding back, looking up the situation. What is it what's going on in their life right now? But if it's about me and I've got to get my message across, I would have missed Alyssa's heart, and she needed help that day, and I was there, I can help her. And so it's building that connection even deeper. So sometimes it's holding information back and not just putting it all out there. In conversations, even if it's just someone you meet, like Kelly was on here saying she met her neighbor, and like her neighbor starts talking about her son's asthma, and if you're like, I have something that can help you. Let me tell you about this. Let me tell you. Then you miss the point of building the connection and the rapport and the relationship. And it's then about you instead about that person and what solution that you have. So just being able to slow down and, make a few little comments and not just push all the information. So the best I can describe it is learning to observe. And he gives a great example in the book. Okay, if you're a car salesman and this couple walks in and you think they need a minivan, and they say, we're looking for a van. You can assume they have kids and that they need a minivan because they have a family, a growing family, and you can tell them all about the family features of this van. But in reality, they are musicians that are going to be traveling across the country, and they need space to fold the seats down so they can put their drums and all their equipment. But if I walk in assuming that they want a minivan because of their family, and I don't ask questions, I'm going to sell them on features that aren't relevant to them, right? So if I'm not asking questions on the Juice Plus side and really finding what their need is and that connecting point, then I'm going to try to sell them on features of Juice Plus that aren't relevant to them. And I could miss that connection. So I don't know, does that help, Doug?
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, he's very excited.
I don't even need to listen to the book anymore. I'm just going to talk to you.
Stacey's teacher.
There's a good explanation by Rhonda Hubbard that I put out. I think you put it in your group too. It's like a 3.5 minute explanation.
She mentioned some other things that I was like, I don't know. I'd rather listen to you, Stacey.
Oh. It was a good explanation, like a good overview of the whole book and the concepts, but
I'll put it up.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, everybody. I'm still going to listen to the book.
Yeah, the guy is really good. I mean, basically, some of this comes natural to people, but some of it doesn't come natural to people. And even though a lot of it comes natural to me, I mean, I have a guidance counselor background where it talks about listening and then saying something where the person keeps talking, so I'm a really good listener and I can ask questions where they'll keep going. But I'll still find myself, this is a great reminder, I'll still find myself like cutting people off, which is terrible, because I have my own excitement or agenda that I want to share, and we all do. But this is just helping to remind us of some conversational techniques that will, quote, heighten our conversations and not cut them off too. Like he talks about not using the word but, because that cuts off the conversation, or not even using the word no. So it's like, oh, because he studied conversation. And then he really wants us to be comfortable not knowing where the conversation is going to go, being improvisational. Does that help you also? I'm helping to teach.
Yes, you helped.
Okay.
You helped me more than Stacey, honey. I love you.
Cheers.
There you go.
There we go. Cheers.
That's what she needed.
Yeah, thanks.
Right.
Okay, so I love Krista Winter. She's always laughing.
Don't worry, you're number one.
Alicia
Always.
too. Okay, I don't even know what I was saying. I totally went off track. Okay, so anyway, but I wanted to share. See, I did it again. I want to share, and I said, but whatever. Okay, so I need to start catching myself. I love that this book, I've always said this, is kind of outlining what people, and this might have a bad connotation to it, but it's actually a good way that I want to share this, that when you go to a timeshare, so we used to go to Marriott once, we loved Marriott. I mean, oh my gosh, we loved Marriott. But for some reason, they couldn't get their hook into us. And so we went to...
Sounds so negative.
I mean, yeah, I guess that does. But anyway, we went to Hilton, and they asked all the right questions. they asked about, why do you go on vacation?
Oh, I hate
You know,
this.
they ask you a lot of questions to collect data.
If I
from
didn't
you.
buy that thing, I was a bad husband.
I mean,
a bad dad.
they got me to a point where I'm like, listen, we gotta get it.
So I don't think I want to buy it. What? You don't want your family to have fun?
Memories.
You don't want memories with your children?
So it was all about, okay, so how are your kids sleeping right now in the hotel that you're staying at? It was like,
Well, we got
had
2 on the floor.
5 children. There are 5 people in our house. You know how people are sleeping, in a regular hotel room. It's not pretty. So they ask a lot of questions, and I hate to say it, they then use it against you. It's bad that I'm saying it that way, but basically,
See, Sandy says they're good.
Sandy knows. Sandy bought timeshare. She probably bought like 2 or 3. I want to hear from you, Sandy. Okay, so anyway, but I always go back to that, because when we're paying it and when he's like, oh, I wish we would have never bought the Hilton. Sorry, Hilton. Then I like it because it makes us go on vacation. And so he's like, okay, so where do you guys vacation? I was like, okay, we go on Juice Plus vacations. We go see family. And it like made you think out loud the questions where you don't really think any other time about, planning for some of these things. So same with our quote presentations, or when we ask people questions. That's why counseling is a lot of asking questions, because you're your own problem solver. So that's why it's really important to ask questions. So they would, did you want to say something?
Oh, I was going to say that the major difference.
He's making signals.
We got hand
Cheers
signals.
to Doug for keeping me on track.
Well, what's different about us is the timeshare people are over-promising and almost misleading of what it's going to be like. Whereas with Juice Plus, it's just fruits and vegetables, So, and then if we are talking about the business and people are all excited, you got to say, hey, pump the brakes. Let's remember, if we start a pizza place, we're going to lose money after investing $500,000. We're going to lose money for a couple of years. So Juice Plus, you're going to make money, but it's a get rich slow, not get rich quick. And then with the product, we don't overpromise, So
right, no.
That means, so my point in that is that it's not negative to use it against them. It's like what we're really doing is finding the problem or finding a pain point, and then maybe we have a solution, Maybe we don't.
Right.
Maybe we do.
So when he talked about making family memories, I was like, all right, that got my heart. And it was like, okay, we don't really go on vacations other than visiting family and Juice Plus. So I want to go to fantastic places. So we went to DC, New York, Utah. So that's why. So I always remember back to my why. Why did we purchase it? And so that's why we want to be that person that helps lead people into why would they get Juice Plus? What's the bigger value for those people? That's why I like to say it's like buying a better body. I'm so thankful I have a better body because of Juice Plus, or a better life because of this community and this business. Okay, I'm going to be quiet. You guys talk.
I like when you say that because it's non-specific. And it's not like, I have better allergies. Then somebody like Amanda with allergies is going to be like, my allergies aren't gone yet. But if you have a better body, she's going to have some kind of results.
Oh, yeah. People are
Guaranteed.
definitely going to have results.
Hey, Sharon, can I just add this before I have to leave? But pitch can also translate to script. So if you feel like the conversations need to be scripted, a presentation sort of does need, like, you need to know what you're going to say in a presentation, right? So some thought process ahead of time. But if you feel like in conversation with somebody one-on-one, or maybe with a couple, and you're looking for the script to go along, even, I would say even like a timeshare person, they have a series of questions that they are taught to teach, and they're just looking for which one is the one that rings the bell for Sharon, which one catches her heart, right? So they have sort of a scripted pitch that they're going to follow along with. And it's sort of a fake false connection. I remember we went with one and the guy was like, helping me walk down the stairs, and he was all like, attention was all focused on me, and the conversations were all about me. He knew I was going to be the one probably to make the if I can get this person's heart, like, then she will be like, husband, you have to buy this thing. It didn't work. I saw right through it. And as soon as we said, this really isn't for us, oh, he could care less if I fell down the stairs. And very fast I saw that that was all that it was. But a pitch can also mean script. So if I'm looking for the exact words, what do I say to get people to order Juice Plus? I've missed the whole point, because each person has a different heart. What's going to catch Doug's heart and what's going to catch Sharon's heart? What's going to speak to Kathy or Denzel? Like, you guys all are very different, right? So if I'm just in observation mode and asking questions and watching body language and just really engaged, I'm going to see what it is for that person. It's not about my script, and it's going to change person to person because their story is different, their need is different. And so when we let go of that, we let go of the salesperson that none of us want to be. We all say we don't want to be a salesperson. That's like the first thing somebody says when they come on the team. And why is because salespeople are typically trying to sell you something you don't want and you don't need, that's going to cost you a lot of money that you're going to regret later. That's kind of what I think about. I don't want to be that to somebody, but I'm not that to somebody. Kathy is not that to somebody. Sharon, people don't think that about Sharon. So it's how you share based on what they say. That's the key point of it. So ditch the pitch can also mean ditch the script. It's not a scripted conversation. It's going to ebb and flow. That, what does he talk about? Improvisation. We improvise all the time. When we're driving down the road, you may know, okay, I have this point and this is my destination. If you just go on that, and it doesn't matter, I'm going 35 no matter what. It doesn't matter if somebody's in front of me. It doesn't matter if there's a stoplight. I'm getting there and I'm going 35. That's sort of the script. Improvising in the situation is, there's somebody else on the road that's going 30. I better slow down, or I'm going to have to improvise and pass them. There's a stoplight. I'm going to have to improvise and I'm going to have to stop. Like, there's a lot of things in life that we improvise. We don't even realize you're changing your behavior based on the surrounding, the situation that you're in. Parenting, we improvise all the time, with our kids. So it's just recognizing that and welcoming that into the Juice Plus conversation that you're having.
That was huge. There's the gold. That's my gold for today right there. And that's why I'm always a little hesitant about one of the things that I struggle with in like the getting started guide and all that stuff is when we get to this is what you say. What do I say? I mean, I've never been comfortable with some of those, which are honestly, I struggle with. It's right out of the Eric Worre stuff. If I were to send you a video, would you be open? That kind of stuff. And it's like, or saying like, if I send you a video, will you watch it? Yes. When will you watch it? That stuff like that. It's like, nobody's going to say that to me. I will delete that video in a heartbeat, So it's like, I think we have to be careful. And that kind of leads into like, we have another action game coming up, the March Madness. And I remember in that game, there was a lot of people doing the whole like, you find a good thing and then you like cut and paste to everybody. Boom, 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 and you're cutting and pasting. And it's like, how can we really cut and paste? I understand that if you paste 50 times, you might get 5 people to an event. But I bet you if Stacy talks to 20 people with a real conversation, she's going to get 8 to 10 people to the event. So why wouldn't we save some of our warm market from canceling us by spamming them and just have real conversations? So that's, I think, a really good topic. How do we do that?
Using Teamzy, right? Okay, so Teamzy can be a great instigator of continued effort and conversations. But if the majority of your effort when you get on Teamzy is sending people messages of, hey, I hope you have a great day, do not count that as Juice Plus activity. It is not. And it's scripted and it's it's just there's not really a conversation starter with that. It doesn't lead to anything. Somebody sees it and is like, is that really a message from Stacy? Like, she's never sent that to me before. I did that. And I got people saying, hey, have you been spammed? Like, why are you spamming me? Like, is somebody in your account? Because I've never just sent them a message and I was like, ooh, I don't like that. I don't think that's it. If I send out 50 of those and think that is Juice Plus activity, that is not Juice Plus activity. How could it look though if I went to that person's page and I see that their daughter was in a dance recital and I send her a message and said, oh my gosh, Ava looked adorable in that little tutu. How long has she been doing dance? She did so good. What if I left that in an audio message to them on Messenger? How can that start the conversation and move it forward? And then can ask questions and at least you have a conversation. Now you could say, hey, I'd love to catch up. Let's get on Zoom, or can I call you? I'd just love to know more about what's going on in your life. And then you have a real opportunity to have a conversation and just connect. If the whole point of that is only to have a Juice Plus conversation, the whole time you're talking, all you're thinking about is, how can I get Juice Plus in here? How do I start this Juice Plus conversation? Okay, I'll say that with it. Again, you're still pitching and you're missing the point. Can you have a full conversation? And then it may be the last 2 minutes of the conversation that you say, you know what, I'm just thinking back to what you mentioned. You mentioned that, Davy now has type 1 diabetic, type 1. And we were talking about how that has changed your life. Like, I don't know, like, what are you guys doing on the nutritional side to support him? I know, and just like have a conversation with it. Just go back to the conversation. You're collecting the needs, and then how can you be a solution, but withholding some of that information and not just putting it all out there at once.
Stacy, can I add just one thought to the end of that? When you ask, like, what are they doing nutritionally? I will even, when they answer or when they're giving me what they're doing, I will bounce off of that and send them maybe my favorite recipe that'll incorporate those foods, or, invite them into just learning more about like some of my favorite bloggers that share plant-based stuff, or whatever the case is, like just really in that conversation, kind of keeping that going, and then mentioning Juice Plus versus just saying, oh, well, and then going right to Juice Plus. Just keeping that conversation going and open. And that's what I will do. I love everything you just shared about Teensy. Hey, how are you? I mean, oh, that was so rich. That was really, really good.
Yeah, that was really good about Team Z. And that is, I would much rather have a conversation about a lot of other things, and then in the end, afterwards, like I've done that like with an air conditioning guy who was here. I'd talk, whatever about things. And, we had mentioned maybe Juice Plus or healthy eating. And then as he's leaving, I'll say, hey, did you want me to send you some information about that? Like I might have mentioned it a little bit. And then we went on with other conversation. But before they leave my presence, I'll say, hey, would you like me to send you something?
I'm going to throw down a little challenge on you guys. That you notice how last week when we were talking about how it's easier to share the product than the business, and we're comfortable with the product, but many times we're not comfortable sharing the business. Notice all of our examples. Whenever we give examples, we're always talking about the product. The same thing applies to the business. So, in fact, if you're having that conversation and you're following form, family, occupation, recreation, and motivation, and you're talking about stuff, it's just as likely that finances, and especially nowadays with the pandemic and the lockdowns, and especially if Florida's pretty open, but there's states where people got to be really hurting, where there's no restaurants and all this stuff. It's terrible. So we have the opportunity to bring up making a little bit of money on the side, so you got to keep your ear open and listen for it, and it'll become easy for you.
Okay, I would like for Kathy Crispin to close us out, because she was nodding a lot and is very excited about Ditch the Pitch. And then just remember, we have March Madness coming up.
I'm laughing at Gwen. She had to drive to Colorado to go to a restaurant. That's terrible.
Sorry, Gwen. Oh. Cheers to Gwen for driving to Colorado.
Poor New Mexico.
And the new team members on here, right, Jill?
I always think you guys are exaggerating, but I'm
somebody
starting
else.
to believe that New Mexico really is like really, really bad. Yes.
No.
We're
having a rough go here.
Who's closest? Oh, let's not get into it. Oh, gosh. All right, let's hear from Kathy.
Okay, I love Ditch the Pitch. We were driving for 3 days going up to Virginia. So I'm listening to the book. And I don't know, maybe that's just the better way for me to learn. I don't know. But I am like, I've got to rethink my whole strategy because I think it's so easy just to, like Sharon says, when you're excited about something, you just blah, And so really Ditch the Pitch is more about conversations, more about talking and being real with people and authentic. And I am just really loving it, but I feel like I'm starting over. I feel like I'm in kindergarten and I should be in the 3rd grade, but you know what? I'm going with it and just revamp and say, hey, this is how I can do better. So
it's probably just filling in the gaps of things that you never thought of. I mean, you're really good at what you do, and a lot of us are. And so this just kind of tweaks it, gives you some structure to thinking about your conversations.
Absolutely.
All right. If you guys have some ideas or needs for Friday for a topic, then Vox me directly. If there's something where you're like, if you guys would do this, then I invite all my team.
How about that? You get to have your own anything you want for your team, and we'll make your dreams come true.
Let's go.
Or we will fail miserably trying.
Cheers.
Alicia doesn't believe it. Alicia's going to be our special guest.
Cheers.
Whoa.
All right, guys, check out the Love Yourself video. Check out the March Madness. Where's it going to be?
It's already in Team Transformers.
Team Transformers.
There's a
Facebook.
registration
Can you put
thing.
it in the Voxer also?
Okay, this is not like the DMO game we just did. That was fun. This is the real action game. This is like a little scary.
Major.
It's not for the faint of heart.
No.
But people came out of it last time saying, man, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
It scared me away for like a year, but we're ready to go back. Here we go. 4 weeks of pressure and
Michelle's
greatness. I hope I'm on Michelle's team. Maybe not. I'll be on Nalani's. I'll be on
Bye,
anybody's
guys. Tonight is Cherie Alpert, and tomorrow night is Valerie Miles. Both of them are fantastic. Invite your medical professionals. Bye. See you later.
Bye. Dog park later, Gabby.
Adios. Hey, Doug, quick question for you.
Yeah.
I was going to sign up for I have the form and I have everything filled out. And then at the bottom, it says if you're an SSC or above, you can only play if you're like a team captain or whatever. I'm actually going away, everything like fingers crossed, for a week in March 16th. Really, I'll be gone this,
I didn't see
not
that.
6th.
Hey,
6th through the 13th.
Box or Doug if it's just for about sales, senior sales and above. I'll help you, Karen, if you're away.
Well, I mean, I don't want to be a team leader either.
I told her I would help.
Oh, we're going to be on her team.
So, I mean, yeah, I can do the other weeks. I just can't, I'm going to be solid, like gone. So that week. All right. I'll send you a Voxer.
I don't know. Michelle is part of the planning committee, I believe. So I think you should ask Michelle.
Box
Is
me,
there a way
Karen.
out of the team
All right.
thing, Michelle?
Not that I know of right now. We know that all SSCs and up, we were saying they should be captains, but we'll see how many captains we end up having because we do have a lot of leadership already being a part of it.
I'd wait till the last minute, Karen. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to be like,
Oh my
maybe I'll
gosh.
play the game day before. Oh, sorry, the team's already made. Okay.
Oh, wow. Sorry, Michelle. I apologize. I volunteered to Doug this morning.
That's
No,
funny.
it's stressful.
All right. So, Michelle, so do I need to Voxer you? Should I just sign up? Should I wait? What should I do?
Sign up if you want to do it. I'm traveling for a week in March also. Now that I think about it, for like 5 days.
Kristen, you know that Brene Brown has offered you the Brave Leaders course?
Yes.
Yeah.
I did get the email yesterday and I was going to sign up I'm trying to log in. So I got to remember my password and all that stuff.
Great.
Sorry, my email looked like hieroglyphics.
No, it's okay. The one that came into my AOL was fine.
Okay.
The Gmail one was weird. So